Hello everyone, this is Maryann here from Revealing Light Tarot, Astrology and Spirituality. How are you? Wherever you are in the world when you're watching, huge shout out to you. Okay, we've got a lot to get through. Welcome to my subscribers, both old and new. Thank you for the likes that you throw on this channel. It all helps the algorithm and drives the videos out further and helps the channel to grow. And if you're not subscribed, then you might want to, and that way you won't, well, hopefully, fingers crossed, won't miss a notification, whether that be an astrology tarot scope or political tarot, whatever your desire is, or interest, I should say, wherever your interest lies, or all three, as many have said. Okay, so we've got a full agenda, as I said. I've had many questions. Will Russia blow up Zaporizhzhia? There have been, reports of Russian soldiers told to move out of the area. Plant workers sent home. Zaporizhzhia, for those that don't know, houses Europe's large, I think it is one of the largest nuclear plants in Europe, if not the largest, and it's been under Russian control, and the reports are that they've mined that, and if all else fails, they intend to detonate that, like they did with the dam. There's evidence out there now that Russia blew that dam up to impede Ukraine's counter-offensive. It would be an absolute and unmitigated disaster if they were to blow up that nuclear plant, and the West and NATO has said any action like that which would jeopardise Europe would automatically mean that we would get involved. Well, not automatically. It would improve the likelihood that they would. I suppose if someone deliberately sets off a nuclear reactor, hey, that's pretty serious, isn't it? Okay, so Zaporizhzhia, we'll look at that. Will Ukraine get NATO membership in the next, let's say, 5 years? We draw 5 cards and see when that might happen, because that's the quickest way to bring long-term peace to Europe, is to have a collective bloc with these Baltic countries within NATO, which would deter Russian aggression. Hey, could Taiwan join NATO? I know they're outside of Europe, but you know what I mean. Okay, so moving on to the US, I want to answer a question that one of my good friends and viewers has asked about whether the DOJ knows the ID of the bomber, the January 6th bomber, and will they be charged? Because, sometimes these things creep up on us. We're not expecting it, and bam, suddenly there's a charge, and it's. That's the way the US has been going over the last couple of years. It's been one bombshell after the next, literally. And also, sadly, let's look at the Supreme Court of America, which. It stopped affirmative action in colleges. It allowed small businesses or businesses to refuse custom business on the basis of LGBTQ. It turns out that was a fake case that they ruled on. So you can see where we're going here. You can't really deny the partisanship of the Supreme Court now. It is badly, woefully in America in need of reform. And why should I be interested? Because inevitably the trends that begin in American democracies all flow through and are tested in our countries as well. Affirmative action, LGBTQ, anti-discrimination type laws overturned, because we've got Roe v. Wade overturned. So we'll take a look at why all this is happening. I just want to ask, show me the Supreme Court of America. Who's pulling the strings and why? Let's take a good look. And of course, already my political science training already shows me that the court is partisan, and this answers the needs of the huge lobby groups Christian lobby groups and others, conservative, it's not even conservative, draconian and Christian lobby groups that are likely to install Republican governments. And of course the Republicans put the Supreme Courts there. So, some of you looking at both sides of the coin would say, well, what about when the Democrats put the Democratic justices there? Well, I look at it this way. If you don't believe in anti-discrimination laws, you better watch out, because if minorities aren't protected, one day you might find yourself in a minority and with no protection as well. So this is why we do these things, to put the guardrails there so that we have a fairer society. It has nothing to do with the whatever woke socialist type labels are being thrown around. It has to do with basic humanitarian concerns. All right, be careful or I might get up on my soapbox again. Let's start the reading. For those that are wondering, I'm using my Golden Tarot, Golden Universal Tarot. Where is it? What is this one? Sorry. I'm running out of space. The Guardian of the Night Tarot, if I need it. And clarifications will come via the Hanson Robert Mini Tarot. Hanson Roberts Mini Tarot. All right, first to the Golden Universal Tarot. Where will we start? I guess we'll start with a potential nuclear disaster. I've seen them about to take action on that nuclear plant many times in the past. I think has been a strategy that rises to the surface and then gets pulled back. As NATO says, well, that would be unacceptable to cause a nuclear disaster in Europe that would breach everything, and we could or would retaliate. Of course, that's cold comfort to those that are in the path of the nuclear fallout. They say if they did set Zaporizhzhia off, it would be a bigger disaster than Chernobyl. Bear in mind that Putin bluffs. He's a man of bluff, and so telling soldiers to go home, he's done that before. He runs a propaganda machine, so we can never take things at face value. So we have here the, it looks like the Page of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay, Page of Pentacles. I'm pleased to see it's not a king or even a knight. But let's have a look. Let's have a look. He's thinking. It's still uppermost in his mind. Let's have a look clairvoyantly. Let's tune in to the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. So yes, there are still soldiers within that. Them technicians. What is that? Okay, so the coolants. I'm seeing the water coming out of jets above holding tanks. That's the image I've been given. Okay, there could be some real concern that because they blew up the dam, the reservoir near Zaporizhzhia, that could be one way to set something off and say, well, we didn't blow it up, but well. The water ran out, or turning the water off to the reactors. There's something like that. That would create a meltdown. So that's the image I've been given. So a trickling, if that is not his sabotage, it's a real threat in time that they won't. I know the nuclear agency's going in there and saying there's no danger for now, but I believe it's more dangerous than what we think in terms of water to that plant. Okay, so let's have a look. So the danger is they do something, sabotage the plant, whether that's blowing it up or turning off the water to cool the reactors down. Then they send the Wagners in via Belarus and take Ukraine that way. Well, I can tell you right now, NATO would be on the doorstep. Okay, so, all right, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Will they sabotage, set off the new Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant? Will they set off an explosion, whatever way they choose to do it, at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant? Will they set off an explosion at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant? Yeah, there's a lot to do with water, and of course that keeps coming up as a theme. Now, it could be that once, and it's not the Dnipro River, it's some other river, once Ukraine gets over that. So we've got the Seven of Pentacles. It's not necessarily a strong yes card. It's like it's plan B still. It's plan B still, and they are still deciding. Now, if they do, that's good, okay? So they're the signifier cards. They are still deciding. They've definitely got it as a plan. They definitely could act on it at any time. But right now, when I'm reading this, they are still weighing up their options. Because if they do that, it will affect Russians. You can't. There's a change of wind, and the nuclear fallout will blow into parts of Russia. So it's interesting because I think Putin might even be using this as a deterrent to those that might betray him. Now we get loss here as the foundation of the reading, walking away from what no longer serves us. That's the Eight of Cups. As the foundation of the reading, leaving. The Two of Wands in the past, something that comes to fruition in time. It's definitely on the table. We have isolated, so there's no real agreement. You think that Putin is he makes all these decisions alone. He doesn't. He's beholden to those that keep him in power as well. So we have the Hermit card, isolation. They are pulling people away from that plan in case they have to go to plan B. It's been there forever and a day. As soon as they captured Zaporizhzhia, that was their plan B. For all sorts of reasons that only someone who could understand the desperation of warmongers would understand. So we have the Three of Wands here. Interesting. This is overseas, waiting for one ship to come in. And we've got a wall and a body of water here, someone looking over that. So, for example, there would be triggers going over that river in the counter-offensive, retaking Crimea, whatever it is. There's a trigger that would set that plant off. Now, we have here the Queen of Pentacles. Stability, that's in the here and now. Stability, having enough stability there. And this is what is the problem with Russia at any time. It's so diabolical, so unstable, that at any time, if Putin is pulled from power and somebody like Prigozhin gets in, and really anyone who's cheering Prigozhin on, wake up to yourself. Wake up to yourself. They're as bad as one another. Prigozhin's probably even worse, given he took a blockbuster sledgehammer to one of his own men's head, filmed it and put it on social media because this Wagner mercenary decided to defect or leave the group. So he killed him in the most brutal of ways and filmed it. If you want a moral equivalency, in immoral equivalency, go to ISIS. Okay, the brutal executions. The Wagner is that. Okay, now we have in the hopes and fears a secret plan. The outcome is the Lovers. Interesting. The Lovers card. The Lovers card. Interesting. That's Gemini. And that is, it's his relationships with others. Let's see what's clarifying that victory. Yeah, okay. So it's a plan that if it looks like loss, then they would do that. They would do it. It's a scorched earth. They've already worked on it in the past. standing their ground and defending themselves. The Three of Wands, working with others. We get this Queen of Wands coming through again, and the Queen of Swords. Both are stability. The truth is that the whole situation is like a tinderbox. They have a scorched earth policy that if they are not winning, they're going to try and blackmail the West as well. This is as much to keep Russia's neighbours in line as well. That people, Orban, Turkey, Belarus even, it's a multifaceted blackmail going on here. But would they do it? I don't see imminency, but let's get a clarification. But it's definitely there as a plan B, and there's certain triggers that will provoke that, and that's crossing a particular river closer to Crimea. All right, let's have a look. Clarification: is this plan? Would he set it off immediately? Or is there any urgency here? Is this a plan that would come to fruition this year, for example? The Queen of Rods, she appeared before. The Three of Pentacles, yes, they've recently shored something up. They've recently consolidated that plan. And the Two of Cups, contracts, commitments, relationships with others. And the Four of Swords, retreat. Okay. It's keeping the warlords in check as well. Because if they set that nuclear plant off, they will infect with radioactive fallout their own troops in Ukraine. So this could be a retreat plan as well. When you start to see mass retreat in the field, not just from Zaporizhzhia, then intelligence will tell us there's an imminent threat. Queen of Cups, the Four of Rods, the homeland, and the Star. These are good cards for the plan never being put into place. Will it ever be put into place? Will it ever be put into place? Knight of Pentacles, there for the long haul, and lies. Okay, and heavy decisions to be made. I still don't see that ultimate pulling of the trigger and then we get death. Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb. The past, the Ten of Rods, the burdens of the past, insecurity, and the Queen of Cups. I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say it's obvious that Ukraine has taken so much territory and is about to defeat him totally, he will pull that trigger, literally, on that nuclear plant. Right now, no, it's still plan B. Now let us hope that he's removed from power, that saner heads prevail. So this is he's not just blackmailing the Western Europe, he's blackmailing his own army and he's blackmailing his own allies with this as well. I guess I'm going to say, will Ukraine ever take Zaporizhzhia back? Because that would be one way. Sorry, this is going to be quite a long... Not sorry, I'm not... Sorry, but not sorry. My readings are what they are. Skip through. Watch some of them. Watch the parts you're interested in. Okay, so let's have a look. Will Ukraine take back Zaporizhzhia? Because that would be one way that would avert this. Oh, gosh, please. Will Ukraine take back Zaporizhzhia? There's a wreath and somebody's toasting. Will Ukraine take back Zaporizhzhia? Oh. They've got a lot on their plate fighting the Russians. You can see these cards. The King of Cups is in the background, in the past, sorry. The King of Cups is in the past. Emotional wisdom and maturity. And we have endings and beginnings in the sky. That's a good defending themselves. They're defending themselves extremely well with the help of the world. This will come to an end. Now we have the Three of Wands here. They're waiting for aerial support. They're waiting for more help. And we've got the past here. The past in the here and now. And the hopes and fears, we have retreat, and not that this is in the fears, hopes and fears. They hope that they will push. This is battlefield strategy. Push Russia back enough. But this is also the death of their own soldiers. But here is what I like to see. The outcome card is the Knight of Wands, moving very, very quickly. Oh, Knight of Pentacles, sustainable efforts. And the King of Wands, bravery. Oh my goodness. They will end this. The Death card, the Five of Swords at a great cost, and there will be a deal done. They will be victorious. But the question was, will they take back Zaporizhzhia? And they will, according to these cards. Now, can they do it before he pulls the trigger? I'm just going to go out on a limb and say, can you show me clearly, will Ukraine take back Zaporizhzhia in time? And I'm seeing somebody handing the soldiers the shield. So 2 weeks, there's a period of 2 weeks, 2 months, there's something like that. Be patient, they will. Okay. All right, so now let's move. I want to get on to the US stuff now. Okay. Oh, that was intense. Really intense stuff. I hope I'm right. I'm not always right, but my strike rate is good. Let's hope I'm right this time. I think actually it's part of Ukraine's planned counter-offensive. I think that's a big heart of it, to take that plant back. But they have to be so careful. So careful. Okay. Does the Department of Justice, I'm now moving to the Guardians of the Night Tarot by Mary Cullinane, or MJ Cullinane. Guardians of the Night, does the DOJ know the identity of the January the 6th bomber? Does the DOJ know the identity of the January 6th bomber? What I see is they know who they've got the link between something around the materials used. There's somebody that has, I don't know, given them evidence around the materials that were the sale, the transfer. I'm seeing somebody handing something to somebody else. They've got a piece of the puzzle in the chain there. Who handed the bombs? It was more than just one person. This was an operation. Do they know the identity of the bomber? Do they know the identity of the January 6th bomber? Seeing the both the Ace of Swords and the Death card here. The King of Pentacles here, tying that back to Donald Trump as well, and strength. Okay, they're good cards. The Hermit, isolation, review. They're not going to tip their hand. We don't. This is top secret stuff. When I say top secret, it's not going to be leaked out in the media. They've got something. The Four of Pentacles in the past, withholding. There's payment here as well. Maybe that's the missing link. There's been a payment made. The Lovers card, these are all Trump's cards. Gemini and the King of Pentacles, they're all my signifier cards for him. Someone loyal to him, obviously. The Queen of Pentacles, a woman, an earth sign. These are all yes cards, by the way. The World card in the here and now, position means bringing something to a close. Now, with the North nodes in moving from Taurus and Scorpio into Aries and Libra, I think you'll get justice there. The World card and the Two of Cups. Okay, contracts. Who was contracted? This is like a member of the cult. This is a member of the militias. This is somebody that was deep into cult territory, or is still deep into cult. They have a piece of evidence that is that has been given to them. The Seven of Wands. In the hopes and fears lie a lie here, a deceitful person in the hopes and fears. They have had many false leads, I think, and then we get the Three of Pentacles in the outcome card, dark money. Who funded this? Who funded this? Who was paid off? Who supplied the materials? That looks like there's three people involved here, and they were operating in the dark. This is a wolf pack here. So this was, the outcome card, they were paid. That January the 6th bomber, or the people involved, were paid by somebody, and Trump's signature is here all over it. Do they know? Yes, they do. Here's the outcome cards. The Three of Pentacles, working in a team to get something done. The people that put the actual materials together, those that paid the people to do it. Three, the people that handed the bomb to somebody else. Thank you to my viewer, Barbara, for asking this question, because your intuition was right on. The Nine of Pentacles. Somebody was paid a lot of money to do this, and justice. They're all yes cards. What is crowning this reading is the Lovers, the cult, everything that led to January the 6th. And, you know, Trump supporters know that when they look at the photos of the type of people that were rioting, they were thugs. They were, not all of them, but the hardened type of rioters were people that were given a license to be violent. And who were they given the license by? They were given it by their leader, Donald Trump. Now, you might not be able to admit you're wrong, but the evidence is going to be so overwhelming that you will literally slide under a rock for years for what you've done, for what you've enabled, I should say. The Chariot card. Somebody has ratted somebody out, and we get disappointment and the truth coming forward. If I was Donald Trump, I'd be very concerned about the ability of Jack Smith in particular and his team, who are investigating January the 6th. They've systematically peeled away to get to the evidence like an onion, the layers of an onion. Okay, so yes, they do. They have a crucial, they have a crucial piece of the information. Justice will be done. Yes, they will be charged. Okay, now I'm going to look at the Supreme Court. So much, like clean up on aisle 3. Well, I think it's aisle 1 through to infinity, clean up, because the endemic stuff here is so entrenched and so all-consuming. I said to my viewers the other day that in order to reverse the damage, now remember who changed the court, the makeup of the court, to overturn precedents, to overturn established law, to take away the guardrails, to who did that? Well, that was Donald Trump. How did he get into power? Because people stayed at home. Enough people just said, I'm done. And, people say, can you read on Robert F. Kennedy Jr.? No, I won't. Because this 2024 election. Third party candidates, other people, other candidates, all you're going to do is split the vote and allow Trump a passage, a doorway through. Are you mad? Are you mad? Okay, you want to stop authoritarianism's march in the US? Then, for goodness sake, vote for Biden. When the danger is past, maybe your preferred candidate can make a comeback. All right, show me who's pulling the Supreme Court. It's so very orchestrated. I'm seeing like a conductor. Everything is all orchestrated, even the Alabama congressional maps, the win there for black communities. All of this is orchestrated. That you give them a carrot, and then you the sledgehammer comes down on about 5 things. Like it's very, very manufactured, very highly partisan, and so very conservative. Okay, so show me who's pulling the Supreme Court strings. Show me who's pulling the Supreme Court strings. Laying down the truth. 2 of Wands, something that comes to fruition in time. And we get the Queen of Swords. Okay, so there's truth coming out about the Supreme Court in something big, in time, something that they can't ignore, endings and beginnings, major cycles ending. This is part of the current change and reform that is going on in the US at the moment. Very painful reform. And the 5, and it's a long time coming. Major cycles are ending. 5 of Wands, partisan picks, partisanship in the past. The 7 of Swords is what I saw. This is lies and deceit. Crown in this reading. You have been deceived or are being deceived, and you're going to go, duh, of course you are. Of course you know you're being deceived. Supreme Court justices lied in their confirmation hearing. Somebody's lying, and they will be found out. Okay, so we get here the strength in the immediate future. The strength card in the immediate future. Let's see more of what's going on here. Moderation in the here and now. There are calls for a more moderate court. Who's pulling the strings? The Page of Cups always tells me in the environment you can expect more bombshells to come out, maybe soon, about a huge lie to do with the Supreme Court. It's not just that fake case, or maybe it is the fake case that led to the overturning of anti-discrimination laws, LGBTQ. 3 of Pentacles in the hopes and fears. Who's operating there? Well, that's dark money. That's dark money, and they're crafting and building something. And we get the Lover's card. The Lover's card. Lies, deals, the Lover's card, relationships. It's the relationships that they have with others that's the problem. It's the relationships that people like Thomas, Alito, even Roberts, Kavanagh even, that's what's going to come out. It's the relationships. The Page of Wands, it's definitely going to come out. There is a justice there. The 3 of Swords, heartbreak and betrayal. There's a justice or justices. If we thought the Harlan Crow matter, all of the other matters were big, Thomas's relationship, I'm going to go so far as there will be something that will come out. I think it's a huge thing they can't. The Knight of Cups, a deal. Somebody did a deal with somebody, something. There's something here. They do deals with. I'm going to say this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just going to say it's the relationships with others. That is the problem here. And we get the 3 of Wands at the base of the pack. The Queen of Cups, something will be coming out. There is a sustainability here, and the Two of Swords, heavy decisions to be made. I think they have, the DOJ will, when this lie emerges, will be almost forced to open some kind of investigation in it. There's something coming up here to do with the Supreme Court. And a lie and an investigation. The DOJ will get involved, okay? One last question we'll go back to this Golden Universal Tarot. I keep thinking that Biden gets a Supreme Court pick. Does Biden get a Supreme Court pick in his terms, whether that be this term or next term? Does Joe Biden get a Supreme Court pick as the result of someone resigning, stepping down, or whatever the reason is? Does Joe Biden? Yes. Okay, there's another seat at the table, and they take one of those swords, one less lie. Will Joe Biden get a seat? Joe Biden get a Supreme Court pick? Yeah, he's working on it too. And then we get the end of something. This is money, also reform. There will be reform to that court in time. We get defending oneself, standing one's ground. Justice is in the past here. Whatever happens is major. Strength is in the sky. That's a nice yes, potential yes. We get the Emperor card here in the immediate future. Might come sooner than what you think. There's the DOJ investigating. We get celebrations here. Wow. Okay, the truth. There's the sword. That's what I saw. I saw them sitting around the table and somebody there were a number of swords laid, like the knights of the round table, and somebody took a sword and sat down at the table. And we get the knight, all ringing in the ears. Knight of Swords is the outcome. Truth will set you free. The Hierophant, the High Court. God, I love these cards. And we get review and an investigation. There will be an investigation of a Supreme Court justice for entertainment purposes only. And I say that phrase to remind people because part of the relationship between you and I is you understanding. Because I've just told you that this is for entertainment purposes only. So, the outcome cards, look at this. Okay, so we get strength being crowning the reading. The outcome card was the Knight of Swords, and we get the Hierophant, which is literally the High Court, and then we get isolated and under review. So, yeah, what's that? Two major arcanas in the outcome. We get the Lovers. My bet is on Clarence Thomas resigning, okay? I know you say he'll never do it, but what comes out, if he's under investigation and it comes out, whatever comes out, he will have no choice, okay? So Biden does get a pick. There's another seat at the table. There's the reading. Have a lovely week. Bye for now. Is it your July the 4th weekend? Happy July 4th. Did I get that right? Okay then. Bye for now.